Hello again. I'm Jim Lowenstern. I'm your host today on this new and very special uh, installment of the Exponential Files. And I have with me today Gogo Bethke from, well, all of her businesses, and we'll throw eXp Realty in there on top of everything that she does. Gogo, welcome. So nice to have you today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I know it's kind of hard to introduce me anymore, right?
No, very easy. You're great, and we're going to get right into some questions. Our audience, I'm sure, wants to know more about you. So, how old were you when you came to the U.S.? What brought you here?
Well, I was 21 and I'm originally from Transylvania, Romania, but I am Hungarian by nationality, just to complicate it for everybody. To be honest with you, I don't know why I came. I believe I came for the American dream. I just wanted to have a better life than what I imagined that I could have if I stayed in Romania. And that was it. I came as an au pair, a living nanny, and the rest is kind of history. I ended up meeting my husband, married him 4 months after that. We've been happily married ever since. Have two boys. They're almost 18 and 16.
Wow.
And just, playing
What
house.
was life like in Romania? And did you have some kind of dream about what your future life would be when you were living there?
Well, I had a great childhood, right? Like my mom and dad are still married. I had everything that I could ask for. I was born into, I would call it probably like a middle class. That would be where for American income basis would be somewhat on the poorer side, but in Romania it was totally fine. Um, my parents are still happily married. I grew up in a high rise. My parents today live in a village. They have all the chickens and all the country life. So they have a different life today than what it was like when I lived there. But I remember watching that Eddie Murphy movie, 48 Hours, not Coming to America. Everybody thinks Coming to America, but no, I was watching 48 Hours. And to me, that was the first time, because I was born and raised in communism. So the first 8 years of my life, Romania was still a communist country. So we didn't have access to the Western world. There was no television, no magazines, no radio, no nothing, right? And so finally, when they killed Ceausescu and communism ended, we got access to the Western world, and I saw an Eddie Murphy movie. That was the first time I saw a Black person, and he was so freaking funny and happy. And I think that is like my first recollection of like, I want to go where he's at because he seems so happy, right? And so I think that's like my first idea of that I'm coming to America.
Was it dubbed or subtitles?
It was actually a good question. No, I think it was a voiceover. Yeah,
Okay.
I think, or maybe not.
I know people sometimes like in Russia, for example, there was like one guy that did all the
Oh, the
voices
voiceovers, yes.
for every movie.
Yeah, so now I'm wondering, do you know what? Nobody asked me that question. I don't know.
Well,
I
it's
don't know.
not
I
important.
thought, like, I just remember seeing his face and he was just happier than a clown, right? And I just wanted to be, I guess, happy when I grow up.
Everybody wants to be Eddie Murphy. I totally get it. So you came to the US because you wanted to be Eddie Murphy.
I think so. I think that is the final answer.
Okay, we'll go with it. You never went to college, right?
Well, yes and no. I did go to college for 2 years, but I have no diploma because I left in my second year of college to come to the US to learn English. Because in my third year of college, I was supposed to pass a big English exam and I didn't speak lick of English. So yes and no.
Okay, so we have those two things in common. I had like 2.5 years of college. Um, and I'm part Hungarian also.
Okay.
Do you believe that a college education would have helped you or
Yeah.
no? Okay.
I don't,
Totally on board for that.
I'm huge in education, just not necessarily college education. So what I mean by that, if you want to be a heart surgeon or a pilot or something that requires a very specific training and skill, a lawyer, please go to college, right? Like, please don't
Okay.
cut someone open with like self-practice. But with what I am doing and what I believe that I was designed to do in this lifetime, I don't need college education for. I need self-education. I need to be really good in a lot of different things, which I feel like it's more of the street smart university than college.
Well, let's roll that back a little bit. And this is where I'll give EXP their due. Don't you think EXP is kind of running a real estate university?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the beauty of it is that it's almost like a buffet, where you go to college and you go into, let's say, the idea that you're going to do business, right? They're going to teach you all kinds of stuff, right? Like they're going to throw all kinds of stuff in there that you're not going to need, or nor do you have the brain capacity to be really good at that. So what I mean by that, there are certain parts in business that you need, but I don't believe that I can learn it. So for example, it's better off hired out. Like I have multiple assistants hired out than me actually doing that step to the process. So I feel like when you go to college, they force unnecessary information down your throat. And I believe that our brain capacity is limited, meaning that there's only so much that you can retain. And if you fill your brain with information that you're never going to use, you're not going to have space for the stuff that you actually do need. So being self-taught, I just go into coaching programs and masterminds that are very specific. Like last year, I wanted to figure out SEO and how to rank on the first page of Google. So I hired the best SEO coach for 6 months to teach me and my team. This year, I want to figure out Facebook ads because most of my business is built on organic marketing, right? So then this year, I'm spending thousands of dollars to figure out how to train myself and my team to be really good at Facebook ads versus going and learning something that I'm never going to use just because it's a part of the curriculum. Number one. Number two, when it comes to college, and especially, I want to be taught by people who've been there where I want to go. I don't want to be taught the philosophy of sales. Like if you never sold a digital product for millions of dollars, please don't teach me how to do it.
Okay. Are you in production currently?
No.
Okay, so no listings or projects to promote today?
I have multiple things that I can promote today, like my coaching program or my Go Get 'em
Well,
community.
that's the next question, so don't
There we
skip
go.
ahead. No projects though?
Nope.
Okay. I saw your Instagram post about the way that agents can work with you. It had like 3 ways. Are there more than 3 ways?
No. If you want to have direct access to me, those are the only 3 ways.
Okay, and what are the 3 ways?
So number one is the Team Gogo organization at eXp. So that's how, we are having this conversation. We are both at eXp. So eXp has changed my life, right? So if anyone who's listening here, if you're with a brokerage that's different than eXp, give us a opportunity. And now with the co-sponsorship, Jim and I can together sponsor you into the company and change your life just the way it changed our lives, right? So that's number one. I started the Team Gogo organization at eXp, and pretty much
Tingle?
Team Gogo.
Oh, Team Gogo.
Yep, the Team
Sorry.
Gogo organization. No, I talk fast and I have an accent, so sorry about
No,
that.
Tangle is something I'm going to start today. I like the ring.
Oh, I love it.
It sounds great.
So the day when I joined, I started a training program, which we call the Team Gogo organization. And once a week, every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, we get together and we train about whatever's going on in the real estate industry. And that training is private for our Team Gogo agents only. We do that every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So if someone wants to be a part of my real estate coaching, that would be the Team Gogo organization at eXp. And then the other 2 ways is
Can I ask about Team Gogo?
absolutely.
Okay, is that let's say I hate to use the word downline, so let's say your revenue share partners or just your partners, is that what that is?
Exactly. So they are the agents who decided to partner with me or decided to partner with someone who is already a Team Gogo agent. So anywhere in I don't like the word downline either, but anywhere in my organization, 7 generations down, as long as you're sponsored directly by me into, or co-sponsored by me into the EXP family, or you're talking to someone who's already a Team Gogo agent and you're going to be sponsored by them, everybody gets full benefits for the Team Gogo organization.
Okay, so someone that's not even with the XP yet, that's considering it, can come to the
Absolutely.
meeting?
Absolutely. Oh, to the trainings? No. No. So the trainings are private. You only get access to that if and when you are with us. But can they join us? Yes, that's the whole point for them to, when they're ready to leave the brokerage they are with because it's no longer serving them, to come over to eXp, to learn things that they don't know, to partner with agents that are where they want to go. It's for those agents. When they make the decision to join the company, anywhere in the Team Gogo organization, sponsored by me or co-sponsored by me, or anywhere in my downline, they get full access to our trainings.
So wasn't a question I was thinking of before, but do you have like a Zoom meeting? I'm guessing the Team Go meetings are on Zoom.
Yes, you
You're
got
not
it.
meeting at the coffee shop.
We can't.
Because
We are
agents are all over the world.
Yeah, we are nationwide, yeah, and international. I have agents in Peru, in Poland, in Canada, Mexico, US. So yeah, we are and in the US, almost in every state. So yes, we are
Did you open Peru? Because that's a new country.
No, I did not open it up, but I do
Oh.
have an agent who's coming from Peru.
Oh, cool. So what other ways? Well, the question I was going to ask before I got sidetracked. Do you have like a Zoom meeting where agents can, like an EXP agent that's in your downline can bring an agent to a meeting and you discuss EXP
Yes.
outside of those meetings? Are
So
those regularly scheduled, something like that?
yeah, so those are something totally. So you're talking about two different things. You're talking about trainings, which are always scheduled Wednesdays at 1 o'clock in a Team Gogo organization. No matter where they are at, they have full access. Those are recorded, and we have a private YouTube channel with thousands of hours of training. Again, the Team Gogo agents get access to that. The second question you asked, that was a three-way call. So the three-way call is when somebody's thinking about coming over to EXP, but they have some more questions. They need their questions answered. They need their objections handled. And the agent who wants to bring them on doesn't really feel comfortable answering them. So absolutely, those are called three-way
But
calls.
those are more or less one-on-one. It's not like you have 20 people on that call.
Exactly. So
Okay.
let's say it's an agent in my organization who needs me to help them not convince, but like answer questions so this agent can feel comfortable coming over to EXP. We do a three-way call. So my agent who's already with me, their guest will show up to the same call with me. I actually have one right after you today. And they usually give me a little heads up of who they are, how long they've been in the industry, what's important to them, what are their major questions. So when I come on the call with them, I know exactly what they want to hear, right? And then I answer all of their questions, handle their objections, and when they're ready to sign up, they sign up with the agent who invited them to the call.
Are there agents that might want to join EXP that you'll say, no, not right for the company, not right for my organization?
Yes and no. So the answer is no. It is not my place to decide if someone wants to partner with me. Absolutely. Now, there was one person in my history who's been with me who left and didn't say as much as goodbye. Now, I had this person in my house multiple times. I had this person for Christmas parties. I had her over with her husband for Halloween multiple times. We went out on our own boat multiple times. So because she made
Is her name? No, I'm kidding. Because I know that person.
So this person left without saying as much as goodbye, but then she called me a couple months later, like just like nothing happened, right? And told me that she wants to come back, and I was like, I don't work that way. So I'm no one's doormat.
Hmm.
So I told her that the company would love to have her back, it's just not in my organization. So
Wow.
I do not need to be business partners with someone who disrespects me, right? Like not, thank God I'm not desperate for the money, and I would never, even if I was, would I ever put myself in a situation like that. I know
Well,
work, and I only want.
kudos.
Thank you. I only want to have people around me that want to be around me and deserves to be around me. And so
Okay.
that was one person in 7.5 years.
All right. We'll get past that. Good that you stood up for yourself. I
Thank you.
applaud that. Okay. What other ways can they work with you?
So
The agent.
so I have a coaching program called The Circle where I take 20 individuals. It is a 1 year commitment, a 12-month commitment. I take 20 individuals in a year to take them from solid 6 digits to 7 digits. So I haven't made less than multi-million dollars since 2019 per year. So my goal is now for the ones who are hungry, the ones who have the base, right? They have their foundation, they're making good income, but maybe they don't have their systems. They haven't learned how to leverage. They didn't build out their automations. They're still very much their own business. Meaning that if they, like, I'm taking 3 months off this summer, right? I think you're my last podcast for until October or November this year, right? So my idea is what I enjoy doing is to help people who already have the right intentions to speed up the process and take them to be 7 digits earners. So I take 20 individuals in a year, and that's called The Circle. So if anyone goes to my Instagram and comments Circle, they will get the link to apply on the wait list. And then when I have an opening, my team will reach out to them, let them know we have an opening. The faster they jump on it, the faster they get in. And then that's it. That's my coaching. And then the third way,
I'm afraid to ask what it costs.
I don't disclose pricing, but that is the only way someone has direct access to me. They'll
Okay.
find out. If they
Okay.
get selected based on their application, I will jump individually on a clarity call with them. And then on the clarity call, they can ask me anything. We discuss the pricing and all that, and then they decide. But let me put it this way: what would you pay for me to take you to millions?
No, I totally get it. I mean, I'm an old dog, so
Yeah.
you can't teach me anything at all. So I wouldn't qualify, I'm sure. But I love that you're into efficiencies and you put a dollar value on your time, right? Like if somebody else can do the same thing in that amount of time for less than what you think you're worth and get paid for, you hire them, right?
Oh gosh, yes. Guys,
Okay.
I don't do any I don't want to say I don't do anything, but I only do the things that makes me my hourly rate. I haven't checked my email. I don't log into LinkedIn. I don't set up any automations. I have 3 2 Comma Club awards, which means we have built multiple funnels, each of which have generated over $1 million in sales. And I haven't built a single funnel in my lifetime. I just hire the right people.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds amazing.
Thank you. And on the
You
third,
you want to talk about what funnels are? Let's talk about funnels.
funnels are like a simple way of a simpler version of a website. A funnel, think of it this way: you can generate traffic to a landing page, which is a funnel, from multiple different sources, right? The Facebooks, the LinkedIn, the email drip campaigns, your social media, Facebook ads, all of these different things, right? You can generate leads to a landing page. A landing page is a funnel. And then we are funnel them through what we want them to do. Do you want to buy real estate with me? Do you want to sell your house? Do you want to invite me to your podcast? Do you want to join my coaching program? Do you want to get into the Go community? A funnel will generate traffic from multiple different sources onto one thing that you want to achieve. So for example, my Team Gogo organization, the 1,400 agents that I built, the organization that I built here in the company, I built it with a funnel because that funnel have made me multi-million dollars. I actually have an award for the Team Gogo organization. So you generate traffic from all the different social medias, which are the agents, right? I get them onto this landing page. On this landing page, they watch the videos, they understand what they're getting into, they schedule a call with me. On the call, I handle their objections, I answer their questions, and when they're ready to sign up, they sign up, and we do it all over again. So that's a funnel.
Okay. All right. Is there any other way? I know you do something
Yeah,
with
so there are only 3 ways: the Team Gogo organization. So if you want to have
the
three
circle.
trainings from me, that would be the Team Gogo organization in real estate. The circle, that is
Yeah.
entrepreneurial. I'll take you to 7 digits if that's where you want to go. Help you build your teams, your automation systems, leverage, whatever you are in your business. If I've been there, done that, you can pick my brain. And then the last one is the Go community. So the Go community is a $67 membership product where we have hundreds and hundreds of videos on real estate and entrepreneurship and investment, on you name it, anything that I know anything about. So it's a video-based training. We have our own app. So you can go to gogramcommunity.com, download the app. I'll be in your back pocket, hundreds and hundreds of trainings. We come out with new trainings every single week. A training gets released every single week. And then once a month, they have a live with me. So on that live, or I'm teaching on a specific subject, or I have an industry expert coming in and teaching on that specific subject. And they also get access to my team to help them implement what they learn in those videos. So twice a week, they have a tech call. So I would say for most who are listening, the Go community is where you want to be. That is only $67. You get more training than you will have time of the day, and you will have
$67 one time or
per month.
per month? Okay.
Yeah, as long as you want to be a
And
member.
that's the videos and once a week.
So the app, right? So the video training is automatically uploaded into your app, but then you get access to my team so they can help you implement what you learned 2 times a week. We call it tech calls.
I think you were doing something with virtual assistants.
Yeah, so my whole team is virtual assistants.
Okay, and that was I think it was a coaching service to help people.
Oh, back in the day, yeah. So back in the day, I owned another company called We Clone You. I no longer own that company, but I
Yeah.
still recommend people if they're looking for a service to help them hire virtual assistants. But I no longer own that company.
Okay. All right. Didn't see it, but I do remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started the co-sponsoring group on the EXP Workplace account.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I think co-sponsoring is like probably the biggest thing ever.
I agree.
Way better than sliced bread.
I
Why would an agent want you to help them attract an agent? And would you be a better co-sponsor or a or a sponsor in that situation, in your opinion?
So for me, it really doesn't matter. It matters to them. So so the way the EXP model is built, we need FRQAs, right? We need 30 FRQAs to open up all level 7. Well, I'm way past that, right? So I don't need the FRQAs. So what happens is the sponsor gets the FRQA, the co-sponsor gets the bonus. Well, I don't need the FRQA. So if you want to be sponsor and I'll be co-sponsor, that's totally fine with me. Either is fine,
But
whatever.
the bonus is only if the agent caps the first
Correct.
year.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
If the agent caps in their first year, you got
Okay,
it.
that's a $4,000 bonus.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it matters for the oncoming agent though. So the reason why it matters for the oncoming agent is because nobody gets paid above the co-sponsor. So if I go co-sponsor, the agent who's going under me will not get access to the Honey Badgers group and the Fast Forward Movement group because they fall into the sponsors downline. Make sense? So
Okay.
if the agent is the oncoming agent's decision of which person's upline do they want to get access to, right? If they want to get access to the sponsor's upline, then the sponsor stay in sponsor position, I go co-sponsor, agent goes under me. If they want to get access to my upline, then I go sponsor, the other agent go co-sponsor, and the oncoming agent goes under them. So it's just depending on who the oncoming agent wants to get access to, whose trainings. Other than that, either way, if I am sponsor or co-sponsor, they get full access to the Team Gogo organization and all of our trainings and our access in the Google Drive, and we have a whole website, we have an onboarding department, we have a Team Gogo map, we refer to each other. We did $3.4 billion in sales the last 12 months. So we are a very, very high producing, mostly solo individual rockstar agents. We don't have a lot of teams. So with that being said, to me, it doesn't matter if I go sponsor or co-sponsor. I win either way. Is the oncoming agent who has to make the decision who they want to be their sponsor, because they get access to the sponsor's uplines trainings.
Okay. So it doesn't matter. It's up to the agent with
Yeah.
you. Got
With me.
it. I saw that you mentioned the Bible and manifestation on a social post. Would you like to dive into your relationship with religion as it relates to everything you do and specifically your business? It's a long question, but a
Oh,
good
I
one.
love it. I love it. So God is everything to me, is number one. Now I make a difference between religion and faith. Religion, I feel like it's the man-made rules to the Bible. Faith is you interpreting it the way you feel like it needs to be interpreted. Now I'm Hungarian, so I have an English Bible and I have a Hungarian Bible. So I get to do both, right? So with that being said, I give credit to God for everything that I have today. I give credit to God for my brain, for my grit, for the family that He blessed me with, for my friend, everything. I mean, everything. I couldn't do anything without Him. And but I call it faith, not religion. I feel like religion gives us a bunch of man-made rules to how we're supposed to interpret the Bible, and I think it's up to everyone to. God gave you a brain to use it.
Well, what about the whole manifestation part?
The manifestation part, I believe that God gave you a brain and tells you to choose a life. He also gives you freedom to choose between good or bad, freedom to choose what type of life you want, freedom to choose how you want to live your life, right? And so that's the manifestation part. You might call it manifestation, but it's pretty much just praying for what you want and knowing what you want, so then God can give it to you if it's meant to be.
Okay. So let's roll back the calendar a little bit. Do you think that living in a communist country has helped you better appreciate what the U.S. offers its citizens? And do you think that immigrants often succeed because they have lived in that less desirable option previously?
You nailed it. You nailed it.
It's a question. It's not an answer. I
But
may
you
have
know what?
framed it that way, but
Yeah, I don't need to answer that, I think, because you answered it for me. Yes, that's exactly what I believe. I believe that living the first 8 years of my life, which in Romanian, we actually have a saying that's called cei 7 ani de acasă, which means the first 7 years from home, or the first 7 years at home, right? That's your foundation. That's where the foundation of your who you are as a new human on this earth gets laid. And my first 8 years was in communism, right? So it sucks. Communism really sucked. Back in when I was living in it, I didn't know any better because I had nothing to compare it to, right? But today I have what to compare it to. Like I got chocolate from Germany and an orange for Christmas, and that was like, oh, holy. My mom literally had to hide it so they don't go to jail for getting something from the Western world. Like, could you imagine getting an orange for Christmas? Like, you just go to the grocery store here and you buy an orange. Like, what do you mean? Right? But what I mean, like, you don't have access to the Western world. You don't have access to the Western world. Oranges don't grow in Romania. Right? Back then, if you got an orange for
Pretty
Christmas,
soon they won't be growing
big
anywhere, so
deal.
stock up.
So that's what I mean. It's like, yes. So having less of, when you finally realize that there's a better life, you're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna go do everything in your power not to ever be back in that situation ever again. Nor that my children, sorry, I think I have allergies in Florida, nor that my children would ever see a day like that.
Well, let's talk about that. Florida. So were you a nanny in Florida? That's how you got to Florida?
No, so we lived in Michigan. I arrived in New York. So from Romania, I arrived in New York for an au pair training for about 2 weeks, and then from there, I got assigned to my host family, and they were in Michigan, in Brighton, Michigan, and that's where I met my husband, and we lived there up until 2 years ago. So we only moved down here during COVID. We realized,
Oh, okay.
hold on, we can COVID on the beach. So we moved down here. We kind of liked it. Not so much on the beach because our children are younger and it's more of like that retired life. So we couldn't do that to them. But we ended up moving inland by Tampa. And so now we live down in Florida. We live
Yep.
people vacation.
Yeah, no, I did the Florida thing. Actually, I started my real estate career in Palm Beach.
No way. Where do you live now?
Right outside of Boston in a town called Needham, and I have a physical EXP branch office that's been around forever in Newton Center,
Oh,
which
okay.
is
So
a
you moved
pretty,
away from Florida.
yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that when someone interviews me, but not today. But let's go back and talk about VAs for a moment, Gogo. You use them for running probably a lot of things. Where do you find them and how do you train them? How do you pay them? What do you pay them?
Yeah. So if you go to my Instagram and comment virtual, so Gogo's Real Estate, my Instagram account, go to any of my posts and comment virtual. I have a most amazing ebooklet that you can download that literally explains everything step by step.
What's the name of something
Virtual. Yep.
virtual?
Virtual, like virtual assistant, virtual.
Yeah, and what's the first word?
Just virtual. Just
Just
comment.
virtual.
Yeah. So you go on there and you comment virtual on any of my posts.
Okay.
Okay.
Comment virtual on a post, and then what happens? It magically opens up?
Yeah, do it right now.
Well, I'm not gonna do it right now, but we're doing a
On the
podcast.
booklet, you'll get it right now. So literally my system will send you a step-by-step instruction exactly how I find them, train them, what Facebook groups to join, what platforms you use to pay them, all of that.
Awesome.
That would be like a whole hour, 2 hour training just to go through all of that.
If
But
you're watching this podcast, do that because
yeah,
that's like that's a freebie and it's valuable, right? When you
yeah,
say
and it
that?
took us a long time to put it together. It's very well put together. It has every step to the process. And I also give you what I call the Staples Easy button. So, for example, if you go through all that and you realize you do not want to go through finding, hiring, and training your VAs, then I'll give you the two companies that I recommend who can find them for you. So it's pretty much
Clone yourself is one
yeah,
of them.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. And there's another company too that I recommend. So you get to choose which one you want to use.
Okay. You posted about traveling. Um, do you run your business when you're away from home or you just shut off everything?
This time, I'm not even taking a laptop. I'm going off grid, so sad. I'm going to really enjoy this summer. So we're going to Europe. My oldest is turning 18 this summer, so we just want to spend as much time we can with him before he kind of like grown up and moving out. And my team is amazing. My team has been with me. Christy, my left hand, because she's left-handed, been with me for almost 14 years now. Many of my VAs been with me 5, 6 years. So I built the most amazing team. They got this without me. So everything automated, all the systems are great. So I can go what I call a real vacation, not a realtor vacation, where you're still writing offers from the beach on a laptop, but a real vacation when you're actually on vacation.
You have a physical office?
No, well,
Every,
yes, this one I sit it in my house, but no, not for.
but you're not meeting agents there.
No, no. But this year, I think my goal is to get a physical office. I think what happened during COVID, I think we went from one end to another end. So during COVID, we got just Zoom calls and everything was online and we lost that human connection. Now everybody works from home. You don't run into anybody. You don't celebrate, potluck birthdays in the office. So I want to kind of go backwards. So when we come back from Europe, I'm going to start looking for physical offices to start a Team Gogo hub where we can do weekly trainings and get-togethers, and people can fly in and spend days with me to help them grow their businesses and that type of stuff. So I'm super excited to get a physical.
Yeah, I've had physical offices since 1985, dating
Wow.
myself a little bit. And yeah, I mean, my dream is to not have the office.
Yeah, I never had it. So
But it's an interesting conundrum because I mean, we're talking multiple decades, and the office that we have right now is literally like in New England in its entirety, probably the best location, street level, major intersection, uh, biggest city next to Boston, et cetera, et cetera. How do I close that down? It's like almost part of my DNA. All my files are there. So what we started doing, remember the Boston Tea Party from history? We started a new thing a few weeks ago. We just called it the Tea Party. And I just figured I'd be there alone sipping tea for an hour and a half, and that would have been fine. And actually 15 people showed up. And it's not a huge office. I'm actually thinking take out all the desks and just replace them with sofas and coffee tables.
yeah, so that's exactly what I want to do. For me, the other thing, I do a lot of online training. So not most, all of my trainings now are online, right? So I want to take it in person. I want to be able to have people come and spend 2, 3 days with me where we have a whiteboard and we break down their business and literally help them grow their business in whatever the bottleneck is. But I want to do it in person to have that like human connection. And so I'm not just opening it for my downline and local agent connections, but also mostly for trainings and coaching in person.
Okay, this is a big question. So a new licensee today comes to you. They have many options, obviously, commercial, real estate, residential, leasing, tools like social media, AI enhanced software for websites and CRMs. If one of the new licensees came to you today, Gogo, how would you frame their real estate career future? What path would you recommend, or would it be different for everyone?
Well, I would say it would be different for everyone, just like it was different for me. When I got into real estate, there was plenty of top producers, but nobody done it with social media, right? So I kind of carved my own path into an industry that was, very successful, but successful in different ways. And I wasn't willing to do business the way all the other top producers were doing business. So I feel like today, someone who's really good with technology, they could build a business with AI without any VAs. I read an article a couple of days ago that the next multi-billion-dollar business is probably only going to have 3 employees, and the whole business is going to be built with AI. So I feel like today it's so different. Like they have so many options of how they want to do real estate. They can do it the good old hard ways, the cold calls and door knocks and joining a local team and all of that, or they can do it with technology from the comfort of their own home. They can leverage everything out and just do it through referrals if that's what they want to do, or not do a single transaction and do agent attraction if that's what you want to do. There's like a million ways to do real estate. So I would say that it would be individual for, very specific for everyone and their needs and how they want to design their lives. But the good news is we have trainings in the Team Gogo organization, no matter how you want to run real estate. We have agent attraction trainings. We have commercial people in Team Gogo. We have you name it, we have it. Every morning we have what is it called, the scripts and role play call at 7:30 in the morning with my sponsor. So if someone is really worried about, if somebody asks me how do I reduce my commission, what do I say? My sponsor got you. Like there's not an objection that Kurt, my direct sponsor, doesn't have at least five.
Okay, so what's the answer to will you reduce your commission?
No. Any other questions?
Yeah. What's your typical workday like?
I love it. That was easy. My typical work day, I only work Monday to Wednesday. So I took an extended weekend for the rest of my life a couple years ago. So in the Monday to Wednesday, I squeeze in as much as I can. I usually start my day around 10 o'clock. So my first meeting is around 10 and my last meeting is at 4. So I work about 6 hours, 3 days a week, 18 hours, but everything else gets done by my multiple assistants. So if you think about it, I have 8 other people that work 40 hours for me. So a lot gets done, but I only work 24 hours a week.
Okay, so you have agents in your partnership group, your organization, in Peru, for example, and I'm sure you mentioned Poland, so there's a time shift there that's somewhat dramatic. Um, do you have a VA or I guess it would have to be a licensed EXP agent to be answering questions for another real estate agent? How does that work when you're asleep, they're awake?
Well, our trainings are Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So with Poland, that's 7 o'clock for them in the evening, right on a Wednesday. So yeah, they are working after hours, so set to learn, but it's not so late. It's not like they're staying up 4 o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
talking about the emergency question that needs to be answered now. I guess
Well,
they have.
there is no emergency question that comes to me. If they have an emergency question, they go to their broker,
Okay.
right? So I'm not their broker, I'm not their boss, I'm their business partners, and there isn't such a thing as an emergency at 7 o'clock on a
And
Wednesday.
you're telling me no one is confused about that?
No,
Okay, good.
no, no. They go
Because
to their broker.
because I sometimes have people that are a little confused about it, which is fine. I don't mind
If
answering
anyone, if
questions at
anyone would have had it,
2 a.m. in the morning.
yeah, no, I never have those. They know you go to your broker if anything specific to a transaction.
Okay, I have random questions. We're getting towards the end of the podcast. Do you eat breakfast?
Not usually. Like I will usually don't eat. I'll enjoy my coffee and I usually don't eat until 1 o'clock. But today I'm drinking a shake.
Okay.
But right around
Uh,
1 o'clock, 1:30, I get hungry. And that's when I usually eat for the first time.
great. You mentioned something online about when you were a child. Or maybe it wasn't when you were a child, but you're in a dark space listening to music, and that's how you, I guess, brainstorm, perhaps dream of wow, what's next.
That's my ideas. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my own company. I love being alone and I need to be alone, even though I'm a people person and I get my high too from hanging out with people, but it also drains me. So then I need to be by myself to recharge. But my brain works best if I'm alone, like the day's over, the house is kind of quiet. I put music on. I like that little dim light. Like it's not pitch dark, but it's like just sun went down already, right? And then I put music on. I have to have music on because I have a very busy brain. So I feel like I have two brains. I have my busy brain and then I have my thinking brain. And so if I put music on, my busy brain is entertained by the music, so my thinking brain can build, right? So I have to have music in order for my my brain to work properly. If not, I'm just thinking a million thoughts and nothing gets done. But I can entertain my busy brain with the music, and then my thinking brain can build. And so I love those times by my
I think you have the same disease I have.
you.
It sounds worse than it is. EDD, entrepreneurial deficit disorder.
Yeah, probably. And I love it because it also what allows me to multitask. Like, for example, I can talk to my mom in Hungarian and type an English email, no problem, because I literally feel like I have two different brains.
What are your favorite music artists or bands that you listen to in those quiet moments?
I have such an eclectic music.
Name three.
Oh my gosh.
What did you listen to last?
Gosh, what's his name? David, hold on. He's a British. Why can't I think of his full name right now? David, gosh.
Well, David Bowie was.
David Gray. I'm like, why can I think of his name? So David Gray is one of my like kind of rocky classical favorite. Tina Turner is my other one, and then probably I would have to pick like some sort of a country, like what is this guy's name? I'll tell you. Hold on. Uh, Tyler Childers. I love Tyler Childers. His song,
Yeah,
music,
I
and
know Tina. I don't know the other two.
no. David Gray is. Do you like a softer rockish? I don't even know if he would consider it rock.
I listen to just about everything, but
Listen to him.
yeah, my
Maybe
favorite.
Sail Away with Me by David Gray.
Yeah, could be more like Pearl Jam or
That would be more on the rock side.
probably if I had to pick one, it would probably be Tom Petty. He's the whole band. They're all just virtuosos
But
in
I'm
his
so eclectic. Like I have Hungarian
writing
music.
skills.
Yeah, I have Hungarian music. I have classical music. I have you name it, I have it. So when I turn it on, I put it on shuffle, and it's just like a bunch of weird things come on.
So I was going to ask you if you work on the beach. You're down in Florida, but you probably don't.
Right?
You've come to a point where you just can shut it off and you have people doing everything. That's
I used to be very proud of saying I can work from the beach, my beach office and all that, but then I realized, is that real freedom? No, it's not. You're not enjoying either one. You're not really on the beach, but you're not really in the office, right? And so you're settling for the best of both worlds instead of really enjoying that, right? So when I go to the beach, I don't take a laptop anywhere with me anymore. I do have my chats with my team, so periodically I might be still attached to my phone to like get back if they need a quick decision making from me. But other than that, the answer is no. When I'm at the beach, I'm enjoying the beach.
But with the technology that EXP has, and there's a lot of technology there, and you can't use it all. You have to pick and choose, of course. But you can run how many people you have, 1,400, let's say, anywhere in the world, and all you have to have is Wi-Fi available
Exactly.
and a
Yeah.
phone. That's it. Pretty
Yep. So I run
amazing.
all of my businesses through WhatsApp pretty much.
So I think I asked everything. Is there a question, something that you'd like to address that I didn't ask you? What's that question? Or what's that answer? Come on, I didn't ask everything.
No, you did not. You definitely did not. But
What's the future look like?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, maybe just talk about what I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to freedom, right? The freedom has changed what I thought it was. In the past, just like you asked this beach, working on the beach question, I thought back then that that was freedom. Now that I'm older, I'm realizing, whoa, no, actually not working at all on the beach is freedom, right? And so now I'm really working on really narrowing down of the things that I do. Because I used to get, you remember what you said, the EDD brain of like, oh, this is a good idea, and that's a good idea, and that's a great idea. Let's do this, and let's do that, and let's do this. And then everything is making you $20, but nothing's really making you the real money, right? Because if you're not giving it 100%, then you can't really make that income out of it. So with that being said, I'm really concentrating on reducing where I spend time, only the highest money makers, automating and systematizing as much of that as I can, using as much AI and technology in each of those businesses that we can, having a lean and mean machine for my team. I run a 90-10, meaning that 90% profit, 10% expense, and I would like to keep it that way for the future or better.
Let me just, because I in my notes somewhere, I wrote that down. I saw that somewhere. So you're saying of all the revenue, only 10% of that revenue is going towards expenses and the rest of it is profit in your business?
Yes and no. So 10% goes to the cost of my employees. I still
Okay.
have to pay for some of like Kajabi and ClickFunnels and Go High Level and you know $48 here and $297 there, but I don't have really big expenses. Like I don't have an office, I don't have overhead, I don't have.
Keep that in mind when you're dreaming about that office.
I know, but for me
More
now.
expensive than you think.
That's what, yeah, that's right here from everyone. But the way I'm building that one out, first of all, I will have a partner who wants to, so said, rent half of it from me, and both of us would be doing events. So I'm already doing very successfully events, but I'm spending that money in other people's offices. So why not buy my own location and then everybody comes to me? So that, in my mind, is already paid for.
That's smart.
Yeah, I'd
That's
never
smart.
do things that it's not already paid for, so said twice in my head. So, for example, 2 years ago, we bought a condo.
That way you set up a real estate function room
Exactly.
and you rent it out to other people.
Exactly. So it's going to be like an event space where I can do my own events. There's another agent locally who has a local team who wants to do her own events. And then I can have my organization come to Florida, do their own events. So they have the space for it, right? And then everybody stays in a hotel nearby. So I did a beach business and millions, my only one event I've ever done, because I go and speak for other people's all the time, but in-person event for me, that was the very first one that I organized, and I sold that out in like literally 3 minutes. So, and people have been begging me to do another in-person event. So it is time. It is time for me to do in person. And to be honest with you, I'm zoomed out of my ever-loving mind. I am excited to be back with some humans and elbow rubbing and celebrate some birthdays and go out to happy hour after a long day in the office, right? So I'm super excited about it.
Okay.
I want to be with people.
So, and let's go back to that physical office you're dreaming about.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna have a partner. Is that partner with EXP or?
Yeah, so she is with EXP. She's not in my organization and I'm not in hers. But would be just like a business partnership here locally. She's an amazing.
You'd share a lease,
Yeah,
share a space.
exactly. We'll share a space.
What does the sign say? Does it say EXP? Does it say
We're
Gogo's
probably
office?
like a collab space or something. I'm also starting a title company, so maybe the title company can rent space from there too. Maybe we'll figure it out. I don't know.
You know, they have those success, is it
Yeah, like a co-working space. Yeah.
yeah, but what does it say on the sign? Success, just
Mhm.
success, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
This
it's a
is gonna be,
franchise.
yeah, so
I looked into
I'm
it.
not doing a franchise or anything. This is gonna be my own space. And then of course I also need tax write-off. So that's a big reason
Call
why
it Starbucks.
why go go and be near Starbucks. So then
Starbucks real estate.
yeah, so my resale value is gonna be there. But I need tax write-offs too. So I want to buy a commercial piece of real estate to reduce my taxable income for this year. So that's another reason to doing it as well.
Well, no other questions for me, unless you have anything else to add. I think we covered everything, Gogo.
Thank you so much.
I
So
really
basically,
appreciate
yeah,
your time today.
me too.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so
Thank you to
much.
Gogo Bethke.